get into bed and warm me up. I'm freezing. Come on, Steve. What's the matter with you? You keep pushing me away.
If I should die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. If I should die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. If I should die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take.
Do you know what time it is?
Didn't sleep.
This is starting to become routine, isn't it?
Just think I've got a mild dose of the midwinter blues.
I can think of a way of banishing those blues.
I'd best get Bracken ready for nursery.
Oh, I didn't know the nursery had a pre-dawn admissions policy.
Oh. Well, I'll take a long soak in the bath first.
Steve!
How you been keeping?
What are you doing here? I don't want any trouble.
I'm not here to make trouble. Quite the opposite. Been a long time.
You look awful.
Thanks. You don't? Can I come in?
No, I think you should leave.
I realise this must be a shock. Me turning up like this.
You think?
The thing is, I've been wanting to see you for ages. I've got a proposal for you.
What do you mean?
Be easier if we can talk inside.
I said no. I mean it, Steve.
Okay. How about I meet you at lunchtime? I can take you out somewhere. Somewhere discreet.
I'm going to the doctor's.
Nothing's wrong, is there?
Thyroid blood test, just routine. You should know that.
So, how about I meet you afterwards?
No, this isn't right.
Please, Jess.
There's one thing you haven't mentioned.
What's that?
The restraining order.
Minutes back on the treadmill.
Happy New Year! So, what'd you get up to? I had a great time. Went to the countryside. Love those wintry landscapes, and you can't beat a good old village pub. Real fires, real ale. Overindulged a bit on the old food and drink front. Got to get down the gym to make up for my sins. So, what do you get up to? What'd you do over Christmas?
I went to Boston to see Emily.
Oh, Boston, wow. What's it like? Buzzing.
Oh, it was pleasant enough.
What sort of mischief do you get up to?
Oh, nothing.
No? No, festive frolics? Parties? Meet anyone interesting? Oh, well, you must have done something.
Morning. Can't stop. Just came to wish you Happy New Year.
George.
Just of course. Catch you later.
Now there goes someone who knows the true meaning of dedication.
Good of you to see me at such short notice.
No, that's fine. I'm having a slow day, to be honest.
Sorry about this. I can't talk. No, I'll be at the doctor's. 1:30. Stop calling me!
Problem?
Maybe. I wanted to say thanks for getting me in touch with the counselling service. It's really doing the trick.
I'm glad to hear it.
I'm still getting a bit impulsive now and again, but at least I'm not as bad as I used to be. Keep your hands off my husband, you old tart!
I'm sorry.
That was me, standing in front of a class of kids, bawling at Steve's headmistress. One of the many women I screamed at.
But generally, things are better now.
They were, until today.
Why? What happened?
It's Steve. He's back in my life. And I think I like it.
Oh, Joe, forgot to ask you, is Daniel still around?
He went to Greece to see his mother.
Any chance he might come back for a visit?
Well, I hope so.
So, what's the latest with him?
That's Dr. Woodson's patient. Sorry, what's that?
You know, what's he going to do next?
Well, it's all rather complicated, I'm afraid. Mrs. Sim, would you follow me, please? Thank you.
You told me that Steve never showed you much affection during your marriage.
What are you getting at?
Well, 6 months after he divorces you, he's back. Why? What does he want?
I don't really know. He says he misses me.
Well, 5 months ago, you breached the injunction order and you received a conditional discharge.
I was still obsessed with him then.
Well, if that happens again, you could end up in prison.
Oh, there's no danger of that happening.
Why not?
Because the injunction order has been lifted.
How do you know that?
He told me.
And you believe him?
Well, he wouldn't lie about something like that.
All the same.
Go on. I mean, that's why I came. In fact, I was wondering if you'd heard anything from Steve's solicitors yet.
No, not so far. I can see what I can find out.
Right.
In the meantime, I strongly advise against having any contact with Steve until I can get definite confirmation that the injunction has been lifted.
Okay. It's funny. Ever since the divorce, things have been all right, you know. Part-time job, counting the pennies at my sister's, just taking over, and then Steve appears. Suddenly, it's like I feel alive again. All the old feelings just came bursting out. Amazing, really.
Yeah, that's what worries me. All the old feelings.
Fresh aroma of instant coffee.
Nice to know someone's New Year got off to a flying start.
Could say that. 2008's going to be great. I can feel it.
Don't suppose this has anything to do with a certain detective inspector?
You know, you're sharp, Dr. Bell.
Yes. So go on then. Dish the goss. I want all the details.
Nah, I couldn't. I'm too much of a gentleman.
Oh, come on. I'm in the mood for a really good...
Hi, guys. Happy New Year. Just in time. What? What maladies after a bit of scandal? Anything in your private life that'll set a pulse racing?
Got to get back to work. Happy New Year.
Okay, what's going on?
What do you mean?
Well, 1 minute Melody's having a laugh, and then you show up and she turns into Lisa Simpson.
Don't know what you mean?
Yeah, of course you don't.
Hey, how's one of my favourite girls?
Oh, harassed. I've been on the go all morning.
Sounds like you could do with a break. How about I treat you to a long, lazy lunch?
It sounds like a wonderful idea. But I've still got quite a few house calls on my list.
Okay, well, how about a late lunch? You just say when and I'll fit in with your schedule.
No, I can't do it, Ronnie. I've got a mountain of paperwork waiting for me back at the mill.
Couldn't you just put it off for a couple of hours?
No, I'm working late as it is, and you know how I feel about that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, I tell you what, we could...
Look, Ronnie, I can't do it. I've got a dash. I'll catch you later. Bye.
So what do you fancy doing tonight? We could go and watch a film or maybe eat out. No? What you have in mind? I like your idea of the menu, so who's the main course and who's dessert? No, I don't think we're bothered with the napkins. Or shall I pick you up from the station after work? Okay, great. Bye.
It's difficult to explain.
Go on.
Not to put too fine a point on it, I feel as though my life is falling apart.
In what way?
Where to start? I'm just so strung out all the time. Can't seem to function. A couple of months ago I quit my job. Now I'm up to my neck in debt, behind with the mortgage payments.
You look a bit gaunt. Are you eating properly?
That's not the problem. It's this constant tiredness.
Where are you sleeping?
Not really. On average, I manage about 2 hours a night.
How long has this been going on for?
I'd say about 4 or 5 months. Can you help me get things back on track?
Well, I'm reluctant to prescribe anything like sleeping pills.
Not sleeping pills. They're the last thing I want.
Well, I wasn't recommending them, Mr. Kent. Can you think of anything that might be causing you to be so stressed?
My ex-wife, Jess.
Sorry.
We got divorced 6 months ago. Biggest mistake in my life. I want Jess back. I need her. I know it's a cliche, but I don't think I can go on without her.
Well, I hope you have a happy reconciliation.
Thanks. But I'd rather you do me a favour.
How do you mean?
Jess will be here later. I need you to talk to her. Tell her about the stress that I'm under so she'll come back to me.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm not a marriage counsellor. Now,
This isn't helping.
Mr. Kent.
Jess, it's Ronnie Woodson. Can you call me when you get this message, please? It's urgent.
Hello again. Looking more gorgeous than ever.
No, I thought I was supposed to be the one with the stalking obsession.
When you're through in here, me and you need to have a talk.
What about?
I'll tell you when we're alone. I'm hoping you'll be pleasantly surprised.
You know I don't like secrets. Tell me now.
Jess, can I have a word? I take it he's Steve. I know you've got an appointment, but I think it's best if you leave.
Why?
Excuse me. Who's he?
If you've got anything to say to my client, you can do it through your solicitor.
What's going on?
I've been in contact with the county court. They haven't received any instructions to lift the injunction order.
Well, that's not true. Tell him. You lied to me. Why?
Well, that's important now. What matters is...
No, I want to hear this. Why did you lie?
It was a spur-of-the-moment thing. To be honest, I'd completely forgotten about the injunction.
That's very convincing.
Look, if it's a problem, as soon as I get home, I'll call my solicitor, have the injunction squashed, lifted, removed, whatever. I promise. Okay?
Listen, Jess, every time you come into contact with this man, you're exposing yourself to a criminal charge.
I understand. I think it's a good idea if you leave.
If that's what you want. Okay, then. I'll be in touch.
I thought we agreed you wouldn't meet him anymore.
I didn't know the injunction was still enforced, did I? Excuse me, I want to keep my appointment.
Hi.
Hey, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Everything all right?
Yeah, fine. See ya.
I really shouldn't be here, you know.
Why not? This used to be your home too. Not so long ago.
I remember. Flowers. That's not your usual style.
They're in honour of you. My way of saying welcome home.
I don't understand.
You remember I said I had a proposal? Well, this is it. I want to marry you.
Again? This is turning out to be quite a day.
You could move in straight away if you wanted to. Just think of it. Tonight we could be sleeping under the same roof.
I don't know.
Yes, you do. You know what you want. Come on. Let's go back to your place now. I hope you packed.
Stop it, Steve. 6 months ago, you physically threw me out of this house. Now you want me back. Why? What's changed?
Ever since the divorce, I've felt an absence, an ache. I need you, Jess. I love you. And I hope you feel the same. Jess.
I remember some mornings, watching you wake up. Your eyes would flash open and you'd stare at me for a moment. I felt so close to you.
And it can be like that again.
Then there are other memories. I'd be kissing your chest, your neck, face, lips, and getting nothing back. Oh, there'd be a mechanical response, but your eyes, there was nothing behind them.
That's not true. And even if you think it is, I've changed, Jess. Believe me.
And maybe you have, but so have I, and I'm scared. I don't want to go back to who I was before.
You won't. We've been through the pitfalls. It'll be better second time round. Please, come back.
You're asking me to make a really big decision.
So make it. Make it now.
I need time.
You don't need more time.
Steve.
Just tell me. Tell me now. Now!
How did you get on with your follow-up visit to Mrs. Timmins?
Oh, she said the antibiotics she prescribed did the trick. The chest infection's healed up.
Oh, good. I still think she should come back for another appointment, though, just to be on the safe side. What?
What?
What are you smiling at?
Dunno, just glad to be back at work, I suppose. I think sometimes the holidays can drag on a bit, don't they?
Mine didn't.
You never did tell me what you got into at Christmas.
Oh, it was brilliant. Dad hired this amazing windmill in Norfolk.
Windmill?
Yeah, it was in the middle of nowhere, but fortunately we're not the sort to disembowel one another over the turkey. We went riding a lot, although one day Dad came off trying to jump over this enormous hedgerow. Fortunately, he landed on his soft bits, but he spent the rest of the holiday sat in his armchair, piled halfway up to the ceiling in cushions. It was so funny.
Sounds good.
What did you get up to?
Oh, they're pretty much the same as you, really, minus the windmill. Just went to stay with the folks. It was good.
Good.
Yeah. Look, you know that night at the Icon?
Yeah, it was amazing when Daniel just turned up like that, wasn't it?
Was that...
It's weird. I've been talking to Joe about it, but he's been really cagey.
Melody.
If you ask me, Joe knows more than he's letting on. Hello? Yeah, I'll be down in a moment. I've got a patient waiting.
This is a nightmare. It's just awful. I can't believe this is happening to me.
Jess, just calm down. What's happened?
I've been arrested. I'm in the police station now. Steve made a complaint about me, and he's going to make a statement saying I broke the injunction order.
All right, Jess, listen to me. I don't want you to answer any questions or make any statements until I get there. Do you understand?
What am I going to do? What a mess. How soon can you get here? Can you sort this, please?
I'm on my way.
Mr. Kent,
What are you doing here?
I'm meeting someone. Are you okay?
Can you give me something to keep me awake? Anything. Please, Doctor.
I'm really sorry, Ronnie. I shouldn't have called you.
I don't believe this. Not half an hour ago, you were hysterical on the phone.
I've had time to calm down and to think things out. I never thought Steve had it in him to take things to such extreme lengths, and all for me. Isn't he wonderful?
Correct me if I'm wrong. This is the same man who had you arrested and could be responsible for sending you to prison.
It won't come to that. Don't you see? All this is just a threat to get me to go back with him.
Oh, yeah, I see. It was very romantic.
He's desperate because it's obvious that he really does love me.
Oh, Jess.
Now, a while ago, I wasn't sure of his feelings, but now I know they're genuine. I'm ready to commit to him.
And throw away all the progress you've made over the last few months for the man who discarded you first time round. That's quite a risk.
It's one I'm willing to take.
Why do you want to stay awake, Mr. Kent? Look, if there's something you're holding back, then it's pointless. I can't help.
Ever since I was a little kid, I've been terrified of going to sleep. Every time I go to bed at night, I think I'm going to die.
I see.
I know, it's stupid. I keep telling myself to stop being irrational, but I can't help it. Every night it takes hold of me. Death.
This time my death is coming and I've got to stop it somehow. Stay awake.
It sounds like you're suffering from a condition known as somnophobia.
What?
It's a fear of going to sleep.
I thought it was just me. I thought I was a freak. The only time I ever got a good night's rest was when my wife was in bed with me. She took the fear away because she's safe.
If you're interested, I could put you in touch with someone who understands this kind of thing.
I don't think group hug sessions are quite my thing. If it's all the same with you, I'll stick to what I know works.
I understand that the terms and conditions of bail mean that you can't...
Steve.
I'm waiting for you. It's still not too late. Jess? Jess, what is it? What's the matter?
Nothing. That's just it.
What are you talking about?
You gave me nothing. I could have been kissing a corpse. There's no love.
Oh, grow up, Jess. I'm offering you more than love. Security and a decent home. Now what's it to be? Me? Or prison?
Ronnie.
I think when this case comes to court, it would be in Steve's interests not to give evidence against you.
Why is that?
I think the jury might take a dim view that Steve's been actively contacting you.
Do you think?
Plus, we could get phone records that would confirm that he's been phoning you all day, and there are any number of witnesses who saw him approach you at the mill today. And maybe we should dig deeper into why Steve is so anxious to get you back now. Come on, Jess, let's go.
I take it I'm not alone then?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'll get that out of the way.
No, never mind. Come here. It's great to have you back.
Cheers.
Cheers. Happy New Year to the future and whatever it has in store.
The future.
Daniel, if you're...
So tell me about Boston. How's Emily?
Emily's doing very well. She's giving her mother a hard time. Very satisfied.
Mum sends her love. She's given me a present for you.
Oh, that's nice.
Aren't you going to ask me about Greece?
Daniel, are we going to spend the rest of the evening not talking about the thing that is really on our minds?
I don't know that I'm ready for this conversation yet.
That's understandable. It's going to be the most important week in your career, if not your life.
No pressure, then.
It's pointless for me to say don't worry, but if it's any consolation, I'm going to be right beside you. Every step of the way.
Since you didn't bother telling me you were going to be late, I've already eaten. There's some leftovers in the fridge.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had a difficult case today. Where's Bracken?
In a nightclub. Swing it out the pops.
What?
She's upstairs. Where do you think she is?
Okay, I'm only asking.
You came to the mill today, didn't you? Even after I told you I was going to be busy. What were you doing? Checking up on me?
I went there to see a client. It was nothing to do with you. Have I done something to upset you?
No. No, it's just, difficult adjusting back into work after the holidays. I shouldn't take it out on you.
It's not just today, though, is it? I don't think we've had one meaningful conversation since Christmas.
It's long, dark nights. Time of year.
Oh, some couples manage to pass the time.
Good for them. I'm going to get an early night.
You want some company?
No. Have something to eat. You look famished. Night.
Night.
and his gambling addiction. That's not going to go down so well with the GMC, is it?
I've been feeling a bit weird for the last few days.
It's a special Russian recipe.
So I should watch out for the plutonium.
I love my husband, and I would ask that you respect my decision.
All that to come at 1:40 tomorrow. Next today on BBC1, the return of Neighbours.